Proceedings of the California Academy of Sciences. Regular meeting, November 7, 1870. Mr. Hanks referred to the reported finding of a ship on the Colorado Desert, alleged to have been stranded there centuries ago by the recession of the sea, and proposed that a committee be appointed to investigate the facts. Mr. Hanks said that Colonel Evans had described the ship in an article published in the Galaxy. A motion was carried that Colonel Evans be invited to address the Academy on the subject, and that Mr. Hanks be appointed a committee to gather evidence on the subject. Proceedings of the California Academy of Sciences. Regular meeting, November 21, 1870. Mr. Hanks read a carefully prepared report upon the subject of the remains of a ship, alleged to have been seen in the Colorado Desert, 40 miles north of Fort Yuma, near the San Bernardino Road. He gave the newspaper history of the subject, and the result of his correspondence with various parties at San Bernardino, Los Angeles, and San Diego. His inquiries had elicited nothing but hearsay evidence. There is positive testimony that numerous persons have seen at the distance of a few miles, an object that they believe to be the wreck of a large ship embedded in the sand, at a spot which is watery and inaccessible during portions of the year. A company left San Bernardino some time ago to solve the mystery, but they could get no nearer to the object than 4 miles on account of mud. Another party has lately started, with an outfit by which they expect to be able to reach the place. Florencio Islas reports that the Indians assert the existence of a ship in the locality mentioned. There are distinct water marks on the adjoining hills, and enormous quantities of shells are swept into drifts and piles by the wind. Mr. Hanks offered as a theoretical explanation, in the absence of direct proof, that the alleged ship may be only a mass of the curious travertine which forms in alkaline lakes on the plains and southern deserts, and which grows into fantastic shapes like coral. He had seen forms which could easily be mistaken for anything. He exhibited some specimens from Owens Lake. Professor Davidson, in allusion to the assumption that the alkaline valley surrounding the ship is 70 feet lower than the sea level, stated that the field notes of a party surveying for the 32-degree parallel railroad showed the level of the western edge of the desert was 750 feet above the ocean. Colonel A.S. Evans, on invitation, gave an account of his observation of the supposed ship. He had crossed the desert several times, had seen the object once from a distance of 10 miles, afterwards from a point within 3 miles, and had from this distance examined it with a glass. It appeared to be the hulk of a vessel, partly on its side and partly buried in the alkaline mud that surrounded it. The locality was a salt plain, which at certain seasons was covered with water, and at others quite dry. He had observed the old water lines on the surrounding hills, and was surprised at the drifts of fine shells, spirals, such as are found in ocean beds. His impression was that the locality was above the present sea level. The so-called New River, which runs from the desert into the Colorado, south of the ship, might have been formed by an immense cloudburst, or waterspout, emptying on the desert, and cutting a channel to the river, which the drifting sands are now closing up. He mentioned several instances of waterspouts that had precipitated rivers of water, cutting large channels in the earth and destroying everything before them. He had heard the Indian story of the ship, and the Indian tradition that the ocean once flowed in here from the Gulf, but did not attach much importance to them. He did not know that the object seen by himself and others was a ship, but he thought it was, and because he had seen it on several occasions, he knew it could not be the effect of mirage. Neither could it be the schooner said to have been hauled to the desert on an ox cart by Martin Weiss, for that went by a road far south of the place described, and he had reason to believe it had reached its destination and was now afloat. Furthermore, the supposed ship was described before Weiss ever started with his schooner. He mentioned one person who claimed to have gone to it and examined it, and who said it was made of teak wood. Some conversation followed in regard to cloudbursts and their effects. Professor Davidson commented on the unreliability of the barometer for observations of heights in the heart of a continent. Colonel Williamson gave his views on the same object and thought one portion of the Colorado Desert might be as low as has been reported. The thanks of the Academy were returned to Colonel Evans for his interesting communications. Proceedings of the California Academy of Sciences. Regular meeting, July 3, 1871. Mr. Hanks made a report that the desert ship, said to be now on a desert many miles from the ocean, does not prove to be such, and even its close resemblance to a ship did not seem to be admitted. He had received various letters which he would submit to the Academy, but which the writers did not desire should be published. Professor Davidson said he had also received a letter, assuring him that the desert ship was a myth.